So like many others, I was 15 years too late to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. And as I'm pretty sure is the consensus at this point, I was absolutely blown away by how phenomenal this series was. Long story short, 9.5 out of 10, a damn near perfect series. I've been meaning to make a video about Avatar for the longest time now, but I didn't really know where to start. What could I possibly add to such a beloved and masterful cartoon that hasn't already been said before? Do I want to talk about the slick animation that pulled from actual martial arts to inspire the bending? Or perhaps how Avatar continues to maintain cultural relevance years past its original run? Or maybe I want to take a crack at the Katang and Zutara shipping fandom. I am not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. Eventually, I decided to focus on a character that I didn't even realize at the time resonated so much with me. Yes, I'm talking about everyone's favorite cactus juice-swigging, meme-spouting, badass normal boomerang boy, Sokka of the Southern Water Tribe. Specifically, I want to dive into Sokka's particular role in the show. At the heart of it all, Sokka is a classic comic relief character. You guys know the type. The funny man who's always cracking jokes, getting into silly situations, and always there with a perfectly timed non sequitur.
Sparky Sparky Boom Man! Just think about it.
I have a certain fondness for these kinds of goofballs, as I'm sure many of us do, but it's actually kind of difficult to pull them off effectively. At best, they're a much needed dose of fun, but at worst, they're an annoying, insufferable tag-along that only exists for marketing purposes. These types of characters are a dime a dozen in high fantasy stories, but I feel that very rarely are they given the level of significance that Sokka has, especially in Western cartoons. And because of that, I think there are two main avenues I want to take for why that is. For one, Sokka is by all accounts a main character. Not a side character, not even a supporting character, but a main character. Now, granted, my repertoire of comic relief characters that I, actually know isn't that high, but the ones that I do know generally only have a surface-level influence to the overall story. What I mean by that is that the very worst of them have one role and one role only: to make us laugh. They only exist as a means to keep the narrative from getting too serious for the audience's taste, and only really serve as an accessory to the main characters who actually get shit done. Oh sure, they might have some unforeseen skill or knowledge to make things easier, but you could cut them out of the show and the plot would more or less proceed as planned. That ain't Sokka, my dudes. Even when the man is getting drunk on G-rated alcohol or taking the piss out of all the craziness going around them, Sokka has proven time and time again to be absolutely essential to the very foundation of the show. He affectionately calls himself the idea guy, but that role actually cannot be understated. So much of where the series goes and the butterfly effects within are all compounded upon Sokka's direction. Whether it's fighting off an attack on the Northern Air Temple, retrieving the information from the library about the eclipse, or leading the first real ambush on the Fire Nation, Sokka's tactical skills really do end up saving their asses on more than one occasion. The boy is one smart cookie, and that right there segues into my next point, which is, Sokka is not a dumbass. Okay, he's dumb, but he's not dumb, if you know what I mean. Honestly, I kind of have this pet peeve where being the comic relief and being an idiot are synonymous roles. A lot of really smart folks have a great sense of humor too, you know? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that Sokka's shown multiple times that he's got smarts, just not in the traditional way. There's a reason intelligence and wisdom are usually classified as separate stats, and I think the difference is perfectly embodied by a guy like Sokka. Yeah, he's no mathematician or an information repository or anything like that, but what he excels at is understanding. He can perceive the angles or opportunities that others might overlook because he has the experience, and is able to cut through all the bullshit of what something looks like on the surface and pull out what it actually means. And he does all this while still making us laugh our asses off. Being able to mesh both qualities of being the street smart guy and the silly funny guy is not an easy feat. But as we all know, Avatar eats characterization like that for breakfast. And I don't think there's any better example of this than the episode Sokka's Master. Y'all remember this one, right? The one where the sword master dude makes Sokka do a bunch of tests that the boy supposedly fucks up, but was actually a testament to how Sokka's out-of-the-box mentality was his own inner strength that earned him the right to forge his own sword that he lost in the finale after one use? Yeah, that one. This episode was significant as hell for Sokka's growth, but it also serves to highlight the guy's duality. Even during the times he's acting like a goofball and cracking jokes, they're not just there for the sole purpose of making us laugh. All that funny shit was actually a reflection of Sokka's brains and how it contributes to his role in the show. Which now leads me to my third and final reason for why he's the perfect Wait, did I say 2 reasons at the start? Oh, fuck. Reason 2.5 for why Sokka's the perfect comic relief is this. He's not just there to provide levity for the sake of the audience, but he also provides relief within the cartoon itself. I mean, think about it. When you're a bunch of preteens engrossed in a war and putting yourselves in mortal danger on a bi-hourly basis, I think having a guy there to lift the mood would be pretty essential to your mental health, you know? Like, yeah, it's not like they're laughing hysterically at every single word that comes out of his mouth, but that's just because they've been around him for so long that they don't even notice the effect anymore. You can tell that implicitly, his carefree attitude and stupid antics are a real emotional rock for them. When he jokes around, he's not distracting his friends from their goals and ambitions, but he's actually lifting up their spirits when they need it the most. Sokka is the living embodiment of laughter is the best medicine, and like all the best medicine, you never realize how dependent you're on it until it's gone. You know, in that same episode where Sokka is training and shit, and the rest of the gang are about to literally die from boredom? That's exactly what I mean. Without their resident comedy guy there to inject 2 shots of morphine into their funny bones, they've been reduced to the shameless act of laughing at their own jokes. It's all done pretty tongue-in-cheek, but it makes sense when you think about just how much Sokka actually provides for them. He lets Aang cut loose from his avatar responsibilities, he keeps Katara in check when she's acting too much like a mom, and he enables Toph's crazy awesome bullshit. Even the guy's relationship with Suki, which is by the way adorable as fuck, is founded on the fact that Sokka's class clown routine is one of his most attractive features. So yeah, basically, the man is the drug that we secretly all want in our lives. Anyway, the big takeaway I hope you guys get out of this video is that Sokka isn't the comic relief. He's the comic relief character. The distinction here is that his purpose of providing comedy is only a qualifier for a character that is already full of depth and nuance. The show already had their work cut out for them by having him be the only non-bender of the group, before Suki that is, but that didn't stop them from giving the man his own character arc, overcoming his weaknesses, repurposing his strengths, and basically treating him with the same level of respect as any of our other main characters. But you know, maybe I'm just so used to comic relief characters being irrelevant in the grand scheme of things that I'm aggrandizing the first one in recent memory that isn't pigeonholed into that specific role, but whatever. Even if I'm just reiterating a bunch of shit that everybody knows at this point, it doesn't change the fact that Sokka is an amazing, well-rounded character that really deserves the best. He's a homie among homies, and we should follow his example because as we all know, chicks dig homies. Hey guys, thanks again for watching all the way to the end. As I said in the beginning, I absolutely love Avatar when I watched it the first time, and I've been waiting so long to make a video about it. But anyway, you guys know the drill at this point. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content like this, you can show your support by liking this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to my channel. Until then, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later!